Hey everybody, it's Theoretical Bullshit once again. This is really off the cuff. I gotta go to work in a minute. But I was just browsing around YouTube videos, and I was stumbling upon a couple, just arguments against atheism or for Christianity or whatever it might be, and there's this theme that I keep seeing in every single one, and it is that God is beyond our comprehension. And God's plan is beyond our comprehension. And God's reasons are beyond our comprehension. And if there's like a contradiction or some sort of logical impossibility, then the answer to that, is obviously that God is just beyond our comprehension. Or if something doesn't make sense, well, it's because God is beyond our comprehension. Or if prayer, works, then, obviously that's proof that prayer works and God exists. But if prayer doesn't work, then it's beyond our comprehension. And I'm getting so worn out by hearing that programmed sort of auto response. And I know as a Christian, if you're watching this, you're going, well, sorry, but it's true. God's beyond our comprehension. What do you want me to do? I just what I want to do, I want to challenge that. I do want to challenge that. Why is it? Why should God be beyond our comprehension? Why should God's... it's one thing to say we don't know the reason. It's another thing to say that the reason would be beyond our comprehension. It's one thing to say, oh, yeah, that does seem like a problem. It's another thing to say, that's not a problem, and there is an answer, but it's beyond our comprehension. And so on and so forth. It's one thing to say, this happened in my life, and I don't understand it, and I don't know what God's reason is. It's another thing to say, it's beyond my comprehension. And that bothers me. What reason is there for the idea that God should be beyond our comprehension? Now, keep in mind, you believe in God, theistically speaking, theologically speaking, you believe that God was here first, that the most default state of existence was that God just is, for no apparent reason and with no apparent cause, and has all these specific attributes and characteristics, also for no apparent reason with no apparent cause, and that, we were created later. We were created... And so we're not, it's not like God's supernatural and we're the default. God's the default and we were manufactured and unnatural. And I plan on doing a video about that soon. But if you believe that God was here first, and then why did God create us such that we are incapable of comprehending His reasons and His thoughts and His character? And because God could just as easily have created a people of consciousness capable of comprehending His reasons and His character and His attributes and His existence. So what kind of reasoning is there for that from God's point of view? Why would a God want to create people to worship Him and not understand Him? Why would He create beings that are incapable of comprehending Him or His reasons or His existence or His characteristics or His attributes or anything like that? What's the reasoning behind that? Is there any Christian or any theist that can answer that for me? What the motivation would be? If you're God, why do you create people who can't comprehend you unless you're on a power trip or unless something shady is going on? It seems to me that there's no moral, ethical, pure reason for doing that, for making yourself incomprehensible to your creation. There just seems to be something wrong about that, and that's just my, that's not something I can back up or prove, but it does ring true for me that there's something, of course, by the way, I'm an atheist, so I believe the answer is that God does not actually exist, and that this is an excuse that human beings make up because they don't want to be forced into a position of having to ask critical questions about the thing in which they believe. But from a theistic point of view, if you're going to say that, then you have to believe that God created you so that you couldn't understand Him. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would God do that? So that's my question. That's it. And I am actually asking. It's, I'm open to answers. So anybody wants to tell me what they think, I'm listening. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm going to work.